Hello everyone. In this video I will discuss one of the film called Solitary, 2020, and never forget that I always pray for you and your family to be happy and healthy always. The film opens with the Earth in the year 2044. The world's population has exploded, resources are dwindling, and the planet is in critical condition. The story focuses on a man named Issac. He is walking alone outside, but a group of men is following him. Issac quickens his pace until he is caught passing by the men following him earlier. He immediately runs to save himself, and there's a shootout between them. Issac hides in a shipping container area, and a container supervisor notices they've all entered without permission. He intends to drive the group away, and Issac tries to restrain the man, as they are all armed and could be dangerous, but it's too late. And unfortunately, the older man gets shot in the chest. Seeing this incident, Issac felt guilty, so he chose not to run away and surrendered himself. Issac then wakes up in a place with oxygen tubes in his nose, confused about where he is and not remembering anything. Amidst his confusion, there's a strange woman waiting for him to wake up. Her name is Alana. Issac continues to wonder about his location. Alana answers, asking if Issac doesn't remember that he's undergoing the death penalty. Issac keeps looking around the room, finding a control panel that activates with his fingerprint, and an AI computer named Eva welcomes him. Issac immediately asks where he is and what's happening. Eva explains that he is not far from the Earth's atmosphere, and he's in a space capsule where he'll spend a lifetime sentence. Issac believes he didn't do anything deserving of the death penalty, and wonders if they've mistaken the person. Eva explains that Issac is part of the Samsara program created by the government in collaboration with NASA, with the goal of establishing a human colony beyond Earth. Only selected individuals who receive the death penalty on Earth serve a lifelong sentence in the Samsara program. Suddenly, debris crashes into their capsule. Issac looks out of the window and sees a recent explosion. They are unsure about what caused it. Issac instantly experiences a panic attack. Alana helps Issac regulate his breathing to avoid panicking. He asks Alana why she's not panicking. Issac realizes that Alana has been extremely calm throughout, as if she already knew all of this. Issac then asks Eva to contact anyone who can be reached. He gets connected with a man named Victor from the Mission Control Center on Earth. Issac inquires why they are in a small space capsule. They should have had more extensive facilities to begin a new colony beyond Earth. Victor explains that the explosion they just witnessed was from the main spaceship. To this point, they have not received reports from the entire crew there. Unfortunately, another explosion occurs, this time on a larger scale. A few moments later, Issac, who had fainted, was awakened by Alana. Eva informed them about a leak in the capsule caused by the earlier explosion, but she didn't know the exact location of the leak. Alana took the initiative to get some water and poured it, revealing that the water floated towards the source of the leak. They promptly patched and welded the leak. During this moment, a piece of debris penetrated the capsule, scratching Issac. Alana quickly patched and welded the new hole. Alana also tends to Issac's wound. Victor contacted them again and informed them that the main spaceship had been completely destroyed and there were no survivors. However, some other people were in capsules like theirs. Currently, their capsule was set to return to Earth's atmosphere automatically, but due to the recent explosion, Mission Control was concerned that the capsule might not survive re-entry. They were working on a rescue operation. After this, Issac recalled why he had been placed here. He had been sentenced to death for allegedly killing a man, but he never intended to kill that man. If he was indeed sentenced to death and placed in this capsule for that case, then why was he placed with a woman? Alana smiled and said, "Isn't it clear? We are both destined to build a human colony in space." Alana straightforwardly invited Issac to be intimate, but he was not easily tempted by a woman he had just met. Issac also couldn't engage in such an act because he already had a girlfriend. Alana felt disappointed by the rejection and returned to her bed, deciding to sleep. A little while later, Victor contacted them again, informing them that they couldn't risk allowing the capsule to re-enter the atmosphere. After the explosion and impact, the capsule had a low chance of survival. Victor guided them to manually activate the capsule's propulsion system, and their capsule changed course away from Earth's atmosphere. Afterwards, Victor reassured them that there was no need to worry because NASA's best scientists and military personnel were working on a rescue operation. As the capsule moved away from Earth's atmosphere, Victor explained that it would be in Earth's shadow and would experience a power shortage since the capsule's energy source was solar radiation. Therefore, Victor advised them to go to sleep and power down all equipment. Both of them went to sleep in their respective beds. While they were sound asleep, a system failure occurred, causing a significant buildup of carbon dioxide. If left unattended, they would be poisoned and die. Time passed, and when the capsule had already passed Earth's shadow, they still hadn't woken up. They were in a semi-conscious state, but luckily, the spacecraft's systems returned to normal. Issac woke up from his sleep and wanted to wake Alana, but strangely, Alana was already awake. When Issac asked if Alana hadn't slept, she replied that she never slept. This woman was indeed very mysterious. Afterward, Alana wanted to know in more detail why Issac had been sentenced to death. Issac began to tell his story. He had a girlfriend named Clara. In the past, Clara lost heavily in gambling, and the money she used came from a loan she had taken from her boss. This left Clara with a significant debt to her boss. Issac suggested that Clara go into hiding from her boss, but they were discovered and eventually captured. In order to repay Clara's debt, Issac made an agreement with Clara's boss to get involved in criminal activities. One day, Issac was ordered to steal a suitcase full of money from a man during an exchange. Issac waited at a location, and when the man arrived and asked for the item, Issac suddenly pulled out a gun. The man wasn't afraid and insisted that he wouldn't give up the money without receiving the item. As Issac was leaving, he intentionally shot the man in the shoulder to avoid causing a fatal injury. Issac then made his escape in a car with the stolen money. However, it turned out that the man died due to the gunshot wound, even though Issac hadn't intended to kill him. As a result, Issac was charged with robbery. In 2044, the law had advanced significantly, with severe penalties. For taking a man's life, Issac was sentenced to death. However, due to his prior service as a soldier for the country, the court decided that Issac would serve his sentence in the Samsara program, which involved building a colony in outer space. After sharing this with Alana, Issac recalled his girlfriend Clara. He called Clara and professed his love to her. Clara was shocked to learn that Issac was still alive because she had seen in the news that the spaceship had exploded. Clara pleaded with Issac to come back so they could be together again. Issac was touched, but knew that he would never be able to return. He informed Clara about the situation, and Issac asked Clara to find someone else in her life. However, Clara refused to accept this and insisted on waiting for Issac to come back, asking him to find a way to return. Issac then sat next to Alana and asked her to share her life story and how she ended up in this place. Alana revealed that she had killed 4 people at a drug den. She did this out of a desire for revenge because her mother had become a drug addict due to the drug dealers. Her mother's life had been ruined by these dealers, so Alana decided to take matters into her own hands and kill the 4 drug dealers. She was sentenced to death for her actions. Amid their conversation, Victor called, inquiring about the events just before the explosion of the main spaceship. One of them had entered the capsule just before the main spaceship exploded. Upon hearing this, Alana suddenly started behaving irrationally. She accused Issac of being the one who had detonated the main spaceship and claimed that he intended to kill her to silence her. In the meantime, Issac was growing increasingly bewildered and denied all of Alana's allegations. Victor sided with Alana, threatening Issac not to harm her if he wanted to be rescued. After the call ended, Alana chuckled with satisfaction. She had intentionally accused Issac so that NASA would act quickly to save them, believing they would prioritize rescuing a defenseless woman. Alana also admitted that she had falsely claimed Issac as the one responsible for exploding the main spaceship to create public outcry and pressure NASA to rescue them. Issac, frustrated, attempted to attack Alana, but she turned out to be more skilled in physical combat than he was. Suddenly, their capsule's oxygen system caught fire. This led to a rapid buildup of carbon dioxide and a sharp decrease in oxygen supply. They began to weaken due to difficulty breathing. In that moment, Issac tried to request that Eva activate emergency procedures to provide oxygen pressure to the capsule. Eventually, the procedure successfully restored the oxygen pressure to normal, and the fire was extinguished. Then, a flashback scene was shown, depicting the moment when the capsule first departed from Earth toward the main spaceship. During their journey, both of them were sedated to prevent any rebellion. When the capsule finally arrived at the main spaceship, 2 crew members wanted to escort them. However, Alana woke up earlier and refused to be handcuffed, immediately resisting. Alana, skilled in combat, easily overcame the 2 crew members. She then took a stun gun and held the crew members at gunpoint, directing them to the main fuel chamber. Shortly afterward, Alana returned to the capsule with an explosion. As a result, the capsule automatically initiated an emergency separation from the main spaceship. This was the initial event that led to Issac waking up inside the capsule and seeing Alana awaken earlier. Returning to the present, Victor contacted them and informed them that NASA and the military couldn't rescue them. On the other hand, their oxygen was depleting, and their capsule couldn't re-enter Earth's atmosphere due to previous damage. In other words, Victor told Issac and Alana that they would eventually perish inside the capsule. Not only Issac and Alana, but there were also numerous other capsules adrift in space due to Alana's act of detonating the main spaceship. Following this, Issac contemplated the situation. He asked Eva what the likelihood of survival would be if they attempted to re-enter Earth's atmosphere. Eva responded with 22%. Their water supply would last for 4 more days, their food for only 1 day, and their oxygen would run out in 18 hours. Issac cried, facing the harsh reality that he wouldn't make it. He called Clara and explained the situation, expressing his apology for not being able to return. However, Clara urged Issac to try. Despite the slim chances, she loved Issac deeply and eagerly awaited his return. Issac regained his resolve to take a chance to return to Earth. After activating the booster rockets, Alana suddenly electrocuted him from behind. Alana didn't want them to commit suicide, and she wanted to abort the rocket's descent toward Earth. But Issac refused to give up on reuniting with his love. This time he was unhesitant to harm a woman, shocking Alana into unconsciousness. Once Alana had fainted, Issac carried her to her bed and attached her to an oxygen supply. He did the same for himself and laid down on his bed. Gradually, their capsule re-entered the atmosphere, and the entire capsule shook violently. This is where the film ends. The movie concludes with an open ending, leaving it to the audience's imagination whether they survive or not. And that's it for the story series of this film. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to support this channel by subscribe, like and share. See you in the next video. Goodbye.